Are you over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days? I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. Call now for this free book on maximizing your income in retirement. Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers from leading financial firm J.D. Milberg. That's right, free. This book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we're about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known truths we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. And it's free.
Call 800-883-7058.
As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched numerous products and summarized rates and benefits of annuities, all from Sentinel Security Life Insurance Company.
Call 800-883-7058. That's 800-883-7058.
Call now.
Welcome to Bibo Weekly's Winner's Circle, where winning is always a part of the conversation. I'm Tracy S. Campbell. I'm your host. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us here again for another great week with another great guest. Now, for those of you that follow us each and every week, you know that here in the Winner's Circle, it's all about winning. We give you actionable advice and information to keep you on the winning side. And notice I said actionable advice, actionable information. That is our mission every week, to make sure you walk away with something that you can use in your life right away. And so today we're going to be talking to an incredible woman who is not only an author, she's not only a military veteran, she's not only an entrepreneur, but on top of all of that, she is a foster care advocate, and she has a great story, a great passion, and I'm excited to introduce her. Join me, everyone, in welcoming Shalamar Parrish to the Winner's Circle. Hey there, Shalamar, great to see you.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. You are very, very beautiful, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. My goodness, I thank you so much, and I'm honored to have you here because for a couple of reasons, a couple of personal reasons. I come from a military family. So I, of course, have a strong love and respect for our military veterans. I'm married to a veteran. My father was a veteran. My sister was a veteran. I mean, I can go on and on. So I truly applaud you and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And then on top of that, I have a sister who also is a foster care parent currently. And my aunt before her was one. So we're going to have a lot to talk about, Shalamar, because what you do is so selfless, and everyone needs to know that.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to get it started, everyone. So again, if you haven't guessed already, we're talking to someone who is not only a foster care or was a foster care parent, she is an advocate now for that. But on top of all of that, she is an author and she's an entrepreneur. So Shalamar, we're going to start with the entrepreneurship. Let's start there. And let's talk about the fact that you are an online business owner, right? And can you tell us a little bit about that? Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to start that business and a little bit about what drives you when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Sure. I have wanted to be involved in fashion since I was a little girl. And so in 2007, I walked out on faith and I started a clothing line called Today's Woman. Now, I had no clue what I was doing. And so fast forward, it took me until now to perfect it because I had to do a lot of research. I didn't want to come out wrong. And so what I did was I did plenty of research, and then I said the best route to take was to do online boutique first.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And how long have you been doing this, Shalamar?
A little over 12 years.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So you've been doing this for a while. I guess we could say you're an expert in a sense.
No, ma'am.
Yes, you're an expert in a sense. And that's great because we're going to get into some of the questions that have come in later, folks that are also endeavoring to go in that direction. Now, in addition to being an online entrepreneur. You've been doing it for 12 years. So you, again, you just didn't get started yesterday. So that's fantastic. In addition to that, you are also now an author.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a book out called Leading Lady. I love the title already, everybody. So can you tell us a little bit, Shalamar, about the book, what it's about, and what drove you to write this particular book?
I was actually a child that was in foster care. I actually had to stay in foster care for 7 years due to my mother's substance abuse. My grandmother, who was raising me, she had passed away. And then I just started rebelling once she passed away. And so my family saw no other alternative but to send me to foster care. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to relate to other foster children, but I also wanted to shed light on how some children end up in foster care. And so that's what started my journey on writing Leading Lady. Part of the book is about my mother's life, loosely based, and then the other half of the book is about my life.
Fantastic, fantastic. And why the title, Leading Lady?
Because she came before I did. She came before I did. She led the way to my journey, my path, you know. And so I felt like it was fitting.
I love it. I love it. And would you consider this book, Shalamar, an inspirational book as you tell your story, as you give us a snippet of what it was like for you growing up in a situation of foster care because of a challenged home life, if you will? Are you wanting folks to walk away from this book feeling inspired? What is it exactly that you hope that folks who read this book, Leading Lady, will take away from this?
I want them to feel every emotion possible, meaning I want them to have empathy for the drug addict or the single parent trying to do whatever she can to put food on the table for her children. I want them to not look at the kids that are grieved and rebellious at the moment. I don't want them to look at them like they are a lost cause, but I want them to feel empathy for them as well. But I also want them to see the hope that is in the book. I want them to see the drive that many of the characters have in the book. I really want a lot of people that can relate to it. I want them to really read it because it is, you know, all in all, it's a very inspirational book with a lot of educational layers to it.
Fantastic. And I agree with you. I think your story, even though it's centered around someone who, for no choice of your own, just circumstances, if you will, had to go through the foster care system, but had a positive experience through that system. We always hear the exact opposite. We always hear that kids growing up in the foster care system, it's always some type of negative outcome or negative effect on their life, if you will. And you're here to say, no, that actually helped you. And then other things that you're willing to share in a basically a semi-autobiographical way, willing to share so that you can illustrate the struggle, but how someone can get over the struggle, especially a woman and a young woman. So I applaud you, Shalamar, for being transparent, if you will, a little bit to help us all kind of relate to this story. And you didn't have to do that. So I applaud you for that effort. And so we talked a little bit about your entrepreneurship. We're going to come back to that. We talked a little bit about the book. And then let's get to more specifically the fact that you are now a foster care advocate. Now, what does that mean, Shalamar, for those that may be watching and they know about foster care, or maybe they know a little bit about foster care? Could you give us a little more education on that and what it means to you to be a foster care advocate?
Yes. Well, upon research, I found out that there is actually 155.4 million foster children in the world. And there are 437,000 in America alone. And so what I looked at was that, goodness, who is caring for all these children? Like they can never have enough support. They can never have enough resources, you know? And so I said, well, because I don't have any biological children of my own, and because I was once those children, I felt like it's my duty, as well as everybody else's, to not forget about these children. There's actually 100 verses in the Bible where he speaks about the orphan and how important the orphan is, and how he will protect and provide for the orphan, where he can only do that through us, through willing people, you know. And so I'm on a mission to try to help as many foster children as I can. And I'm also on a mission to make certain that once they are 18, that they still have a family, they still have a nucleus. Because a lot of them, once they are 18, they're just thrown out into the world, you know, and are forced to try to swim. And as you, and a lot of us have been told or have been shown, a lot of them end up in jail. A lot of them end up on drugs. A lot of them end up in prostitution or selling drugs. You know, a lot of them don't have positive outcomes. And so I want to try to change that. And so that's why I want to be an advocate.
Well, I could not applaud you more. I shared with you before we came on the air, everyone, I shared with Shalamar that I have a sister who has been a foster care parent for well over 20 years. She ended up adopting 2 of the children ultimately, and she was able to provide them with a wonderful home and help them to get over some of the trauma that they experienced from their own biological parents, victims of substance abuse and all sorts of other social ills and things that they're dealing with. And so I was able to see firsthand what happens to a young person when there's someone who loves them and truly cares about them, whether it's a biological parent or not. And then again, in the case of Shalamar, in the case of what my sister does, my aunt before her did, being a foster parent, it's extremely rewarding. And we don't talk about it enough. We don't. It kind of gets lost in the shuffle of talking about all the other things that are going on in the world. So for that reason, Shalamar, I want to thank you for bringing it to the forefront and being an advocate, because you are a product of the positive side of foster care, as well as having been a foster parent yourself. So I applaud you for that. Wow, so many layers to you, Shalamar. We could go on and on. So, I mean, we just scratched the surface of the military. We kind of skirted over, if you will, the military career. Can you quickly share with us your experiences with that? And then we'll get back to your business as well.
Okay, so when I got out of out of foster care, I didn't know what to do with myself. And so I was going from job to job, and I knew that I wanted a career, but didn't know what I really wanted to do. And so I kept seeing this commercial about become an army of one, and you can go to school for 2 years and they'll pay for it and stuff. And so I went and took the ASVAB and flunked 3 times.
Wow.
But something told me to go back. And when I went back, I passed with flying colors, you know? And so when I went in, I couldn't cook. And because I scored kind of high, they ended up offering me a bonus to be a cook. And so I took them up on it, and the rest is history, really.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how long did you serve, Shalamar?
10 years technically. Some things happened overseas, and so they ended up retiring me. And it's so weird that just the other day, you know how sometimes something is too good to be true to you, and so you kind of like push it in the back of your mind. Just the other day, I went into my other office, and I looked on the wall, and I was like, gosh, I really am retired. Like like the army really did retire me, you
Yes.
know?
Yes, that's
But
awesome. Early retirement is always a blessing. So
yes,
not
ma'am.
only did you serve your country for 10 years, which is a long time, that's a commitment, that's a lot of service. And now you're rewarded with early retirement, and I'm sure other things as well. So again, thank you for that. And again, again, another underscore, everyone, of the positives that can come out of someone coming through the foster care system. You've been able to have a great military career, become an entrepreneur, an author, and so on. So again, very, very grateful that all of that happened to you and for you, Shalamar. So let's get back to that business of yours, that online retail business. Every week, those of you that watch, and you know it's about that time for you guys to get out your notepad, your scratch pad, whatever you use, your notebook, to start taking some really good notes, okay? Because we're going to get into the 3 actionable items, or the 3 gems, as I like to say, each and every week. And Shalamar, I'm going to pick your brain this week. We're talking about entrepreneurship, specifically online businesses, in your case, online retail business. There are many folks that are probably watching us right now that may have an online business already, or they may want to start an online business and they have no idea where to start or what to do. You've been doing this for 12 years. That's a long time in this day and age when it comes to being in business for yourself. 12 years is great. Can you give us 3 things, Shalamar, that someone who's watching us right now and they are purposing to start their own online business, what can you give us?
Stay the course.
Yes.
It is not going to be easy every day. Sometimes you don't know where your next meal may come from, but stay the course. That's number 1.
Okay.
If you make up in your mind that you want to start a business, see it through. The second one is invest in yourself.
Okay.
Invest in your dreams, monetarily wise. Invest. If you put $1 in, tomorrow put 2. Do whatever you can legally to invest in yourself. And then the third one would be find you a network of support, whether that is coming from family, friends, other colleagues that's within that that business realm that you're going into. Find you people who have already been there, people who are going there, and people who will like to be there.
Right.
Find your group of great people.
Your group.
And so that would be, so that would be my 3.
Fantastic. So everyone, I hope you got that, but I'm going to recap as I always do to make sure you got that. First is stay the course. It is so easy to get discouraged. It's so easy to have distractions. And for all of us entrepreneurs that have gone down this path, we're still on the path. It's never ending as an entrepreneur. But for those of us that have gone through it a little bit longer than others, we know, as Shalamar just said, there are going to be days when you don't know where the next check is going to come from, the next meal is going to come from. I mean, that's how it starts. But if you stay the course, as Shalamar said, if you stay the course, you're going to reap the benefits of all that sacrifice. Entrepreneurship isn't easy. It's not an easy road, but it's a rewarding road. And I'm sure, Shalamar, you can attest to that with 12 years in with your retail online business.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm so glad that I didn't give up.
That's fantastic.
And I had a lot of starts and stops in between, but it was like a fire that was in me that kept me going, and as long as you don't let that fire go out, you're going to accomplish your dreams. I can guarantee you.
That's phenomenal. I love it. And again, if you're starting down this road of entrepreneurship, I have to assume that you're working from some type of internal fire already. There's something that drove you to get to this point, that something that you just couldn't let go of. That's why you're on this path to begin with. So you may as well see it through or stay the course, as Shalamar said. And then the next thing is invest in yourself. So Shalamar, going back to your particular business, online retail, what exactly did you do from an investment perspective for yourself to help you along?
I didn't want to take out any loans.
Okay.
So that meant that I was only using the money that was coming in from my check,
Okay.
which means that I was cutting corners on meals,
Mhm.
on activities, on getting my hair done.
All the things we love to do, right? Nails.
I took the nails off. Still got the nails off. You know, I cut corners
Right.
to invest in my future. You know, so other people may want to take out a loan. I support that.
Mhm.
Or if you have savings, I support you using some of that savings. As for me, my route was to just grind it out.
Grind it out. Mhm, mhm. Now, so when you say invest,
Mhm.
because I want to make sure everyone gets that. I mean, we're talking not just the physical labor, if you will. We're not talking just the time, because of course we're talking time, commitment, long days, sleepless nights. Yes, that's part of the life. Yes, all of that. But then did you invest as a online retail business? Did you invest in any education, whether it's online or community college or wherever it was? Did you take the time to do that? And if so, what type of education for someone going into this type of business?
Yes, I did. There are all kind of free training certificate courses online from different colleges, and they're free. Um, I I I still take courses, so I don't know. A lot of cities have like little recreational centers where you can go and brush up on some courses. You know, whether it's business management, whatever. I suggest that people do research and try to find a great school that's cost effective for them to get into. You know, even if they do know um, how to count, it's something bigger that they need when they're starting a business. And that's like I said, a lot of network. You can't have that with doing it by yourself.
No.
You can't.
No, no. So you're recommending business courses, and again, you're right. Nowadays, especially because of the pandemic, if the pandemic did one good thing, that was allow a lot of us to have access to education and courses that we otherwise would not have access to.
Mhm.
And a lot of institutions are offering free versions
Mhm.
of courses that normally you would have to pay for, right, Shalamar?
Mhm.
Yeah, so investing in courses, business administration, accounting, social media, digital marketing, all of these things are going to be able to help you in your business, especially if you're going into an online business,
Mhm.
because you're going to really need that digital marketing and social media education. You're really going to need that, and all the things that go along with that. So that may require a small monetary investment. It may be free. And there's, as Shalamar just said, there's a lot of free sources out there that you need to start getting into. And then last but not least, get around people that you can learn from and people who are also in the same struggle as you are. Shalamar, how did that help you?
It has helped me tremendously. I mean, it has put me in a situation to where I was able to meet you. It has helped me tremendously. Just speaking, sometimes if you just say hello to a person,
That's right.
instead of being standoffish, you never know who you might be in the presence of.
That's right.
So I honestly say take every opportunity you can when you come into the presence of someone. You just about know a good spirit and a bad one.
You
You
do.
know, take the opportunity to get to know them and let them get to know a little bit about you. And you may be surprised they may can help you.
That's right. No, that's so true. And that's something we all underestimate, everyone. We do it. We're so busy focused on our own problems and our own issues and our own thing, if you will, that we don't take the time to really get to know other people beyond what we think they may be able to do for us. To Shalamar's point, I've met people that on the surface, it didn't seem like we had a whole lot in common at all. And through the course of conversation and building those relationships, broadening your network, I'm going to underline that word, everybody, broadening your network. Guess what? Some of those same people introduced me to other people that, again, were able, at that point, were able to help me more directly. So you're right. You can't discredit or discount people that you may meet that may not be in your exact same industry. Okay, you'll be very, very surprised. But even with those that are in your same industry, as Shalamar said earlier, you can learn from them. And if they're on the same path and the same part of the journey as you are, you may have someone you can partner with and grow with. So that type of networking, being available to network, putting yourself out there to network is crucial. Even though we're talking about an online business, a lot of those offline relationships, everybody, are going to be the things that are going to get you to the next level. Is that fair to say, Shalamar?
It is very true. That's an accurate statement.
Yeah. Yeah. So has networking helped your business? I'm assuming it has grow and expand beyond your immediate circle.
Yes, it has.
And what ways? Quickly, can you share with us in what ways?
Revenue, word of mouth. They're basically telling other people about the business. I am getting calls for interviews. So yes, it's helping a lot.
That's fantastic. And just to be, because I don't think we said it explicitly, you're in an online retail business. What type of retail? What is it that someone can expect when they come to your store?
I sell women's clothing. The clothing line is actually called Today's Woman. Okay. It's for the upliftment of women. I have a statement that says today's woman is beautiful, spiritual, she's educated, motivated, opinionated, because she's liberated. She's full of wisdom and truly a blessing. I am today's woman. But we range from sizes small to 7X. And we try to have something online for any woman, whether that may be a woman who's in business suits every day, or a woman who goes to church often, or whether that means a woman that's athletic, or someone that's just casual. Like, we try to cater to every facet of a woman's needs.
Love it. Fantastic.
Are you struggling with addiction? Do you need to detox? Is addiction controlling your life, hurting your loved ones? Don't be ashamed. Addiction is a disease that requires medical treatment. At Freedom from Addiction, we help people nationwide get free from addiction to alcohol, opioids, prescription medicine, narcotics, and more. Your life is precious. Addiction is a disease. Accept the help you need and call Freedom from Addiction now to get the victory over addiction you and your family deserve. We get hundreds of calls every day. Right now, we just want one, yours. Call Freedom from Addiction now, and in as little as 21 days from right now, you can return home free from addiction and free to start a new chapter in your life. But you have to call now.
Make the call, 1-866-485-1956.
And that's a great segue, because we're almost at the bottom of our first half hour with you, Shalamar. So absolutely, if someone wants to get in touch with you, they've enjoyed this conversation as much as I have, and now they're very curious about your thriving 12-year business of online retail, and they want to go over there and check out some of the great fashions and the great items that you have there available. How can they get in touch with you, Shalamar?
Well, they can just go to the website. It's called www.BiboWeeklysWinnersCircle.com. Go to that website, click on that website. You can actually tell me that you came, and I will respond to anyone who has came. And hopefully you'll find something there that you like. If so, then you'll receive 20% off. Just tell me that you came.
Fantastic. Everyone, make sure you head over to todayswoman.com. That's the number 2, DAYZ woman.com, todayswoman.com. Make sure you go over there and check out the thriving business that Shalamar has. Again, 12 years. And I have to keep emphasizing that because a lot of businesses don't make it past the first 3 years, let alone 12 years. And in this very competitive marketplace that we're in, 12 years online is a huge accomplishment. And I want to applaud you and thank you for that, Shalamar. And just thank you for sharing with us all the various aspects of your life, military, foster care, and becoming an author and having a published book, and as well as your online retail business. You are truly a Renaissance woman, Shalamar, and I applaud you.
Thank you so much.
Well, everyone, of course, we're going to get into the Q&A next, but for those of you that have to leave us right now, well, make sure you also stay connected to us. Go over to worldofbibo.com. That's worldofbibo.com. Make sure you go there and get plugged into us. We absolutely want to stay connected to you. And guess what? We're going to be back right here in the Winner's Circle next week with another phenomenal guest giving you actionable advice that you can use each and every day. For those of you leaving us right now, what do I always say? Make sure in this crazy world we're all living in, make sure you stay safe, you stay healthy. Most of all, you stay blessed, and we'll see you next week.